Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. Today I have a quick little mini template for you guys. I've seen a lot of videos out there, no paper left behind or use your stash. All the, you use a collection like we used the Midnight Garden for this mini album right here, and we have a whole bunch of papers left over, and what do you do with that? Well, actually, in this particular case, you have enough to make a whole new album if you wanted to, but we didn't use that much of the collection. But a lot of times we just have 2 or 3 sheets of paper left over. So I wanted to help with that. So I created a template just for that, just for the idea of using your stash. So it's called Use Your Stash. And if you want to see how we made this, this is the Midnight Garden Glassine Bag Printable Mini Album Template. And I have a playlist. I'll link it up here and it'll be linked down in the description box. A step-by-step video tutorial on exactly how to put this together. But this is the paper collection that we used, the Midnight Garden from Prima, and I have a lot left over, and I've already printed off a few sheets for this that we're getting ready to make. But there's also, I've got a lot of ephemera left over, I've got a lot of flowers left over, little bits and pieces that we've cut off. I've got all these little things left over. So I wanted to go ahead and do this now so that I could show you that even though we didn't use a lot of the paper collection in this album, even though you could, if you wanted to, make a whole nother album with this exact same paper collection with all the goodies that we bought, or you can make a bunch of little albums, and I'll show you those in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, but again, if you want to watch this from beginning to end, it was a lot of fun. It's an easy mini album. It's quick. I know the videos, I really took it step by step in the videos, but you can make this album literally in a few days from beginning to end if you wanted to. But this is one of my favorite projects. I just love it. I love the way it turned out. I love the size of it. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks. It's just beautiful. Anyways, okay, moving on. So this is the new little mini template that I've made. Okay, so let me explain. It's only 3 pages. Every time I do a free template, I get so many people that are like, I don't do Facebook. I only offer my freebies in Facebook, in my Facebook group. So I decided this time I'm still going to do the freebie in my Facebook group, but I'm also going to put it on my Etsy. And it's going to be super cheap, but it's going to have an additional set of templates with it. Okay, so I'll explain. So this is the title sheet. So if you get the freebie or if you get the one through Etsy, this is the title sheet. Everybody's going to get this title sheet. It says Use Your Stash. This is a new little background that I made just for this. This wood background I did a long time ago. When I first did my first wood background, I had done this one as well. I just hadn't used it yet, so I thought I would use it now. So you get this title sheet, right? It says Use Your Stash, and then the next page is just your agreement. Once you download this, you can't sell it and all that jazz. And then the freebie, this is the freebie. So you get the plain template. So this is the cover, right? So this is the flap. I'll show you on here. So this was some paper I had left over from another project. So this is the flap. Let me open it up so you can see. So it looks like this, right? So this is that flap, right? And so there's some tickets. So that's one page. Then here's the second page. And then that's this tall pocket here and this one here. And then this long pocket is, did I use it? I didn't use it in this one. But this is another long pocket and some labels and tags and whatnots and some tabs. Here's the third page. There's a long pocket, a short pocket, a tall tag, and a tab and a label. And then if you get the one through Etsy, you get a whole set with this background on it. Okay, so there's the cover. So you'll get the plain templates for a freebie through my Facebook group, and that's it. If you get the one through Etsy, you get an extra set with this background printed on it. So there's one. There is another, and then there is the last page, right? But then you'll also get a full sheet background design with nothing on it. Okay, so this one is if you purchase through Etsy. So you'll get 2 sets of templates through Etsy if you got, if you have to purchase it. But if you go through my Facebook group, you get the plain templates only. So it'll be these. This is the freebie right here. You get, it's actually 5 pages. So the PDF will be 5 pages. So this is if you go through my Facebook group. This is the freebie. If you go through Etsy, you get this plus the full set of background templates and the background. So this is if you go through Etsy, you get both sets. Okay, I hope I'm super clear about that. I'll try to say it again or explain it again in the description box below. So if you go through Etsy, it's not a freebie. But if you go through my Facebook group, which I will link down below, you have to request to follow, or not to follow, you have to request to join my Facebook group, and then you have to answer a question, and then one of the admins will just determine whether or not you're a real person, and then they will allow you into the group, and then there's a whole bunch of freebies in the Facebook group, so it's worth a look. But anyways, okay, so that's what the template is. So I'm going to move this aside. I printed those off just to show you. I did make me a quick little workbook. It's just page protectors that I stapled together on the one side and then covered it with some washi tape. That's it. So I did go ahead and make some traceable templates. Here's the bits and pieces left over from making these 3. Because you can make a bunch of covers and make a bunch of different little mini albums or little pen pal, because they're really small. Let me see. Let's do a roundabouts on the measurements. I usually don't like to do measurements, but I'm gonna do a roundabouts. So it's a little shy of 6.5 by a little shy of 4. And those measurements can vary depending on your printer. But anyways, okay. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you? So I did make me a little workbook because these things here can be traced onto your large cutoffs. So when you cut your paper down and run it through your printer, you have large cutoffs and small cutoffs. These can be used as traceable templates on those large cutoffs or on any page or any of your leftover bits. So any of them really can be traced onto anything. That's why I have them all cut out. This large tag here, it can be used on your large cutoff pieces as well, because you want to use all of your bits and pieces. Oh, and then there's the background design back there. Okay, so let me show you just really quickly. Here's one of the albums, right? There's a magnet in there. There is a tag, a couple of the labels. So there's 2 pockets there. There's one pocket here with another tag. And just a cute little embellishment piece that was left over from when we made, what did we make? This was the Remnants Lovely Layers, I think. This was the lavender, Prima's lavender something, shoot. And then there's the back cover. There's another pocket with 2 tags in it. And I used some embossing folders. Here's another little pocket right there. So there's one, super quick. And then here is another one. This was the same paper collection. I'm pretty sure it was called Lavender something. Or maybe it was just Lavender. But it was using we made the remnants. I'll try to find that playlist up here, put it up here, and then I'll put it in the description box below as well. So this time I cut off that extra tag there, that extra flap. And so here's a pocket with a couple of tags in it. This one I just made from a scrap, and then this one I just traced onto the embossed piece of white cardstock. And then here is a flap that I made, a flap pocket. And inside are 2 tags, right? Super cute. And then back here I did a little bit. And then here is a little cluster with a removable journaling spot where you can add a picture or your journaling. And then here's another tag, and then it just has a tie closure. And then the last one, I was just playing around with some new watercolors that I had. I probably wouldn't do that if I was giving it to somebody, but since I was just goofing around, and I used some old ledger paper and coffee stain paper in this one. So there's the closure right there. There's that flap. Right, and then here is another flap, And it's got a little tuck right there, but I covered the back of it with old ledger paper. And then here's a pocket that I covered with some of the embossed white cardstock. And here's another piece of embossed cardstock that I just backed the tag with. And then I backed this tag with some oud ephemera. Right? So there's 2 tags there. So simple, you guys. So simple. And then here, covered the label with some oud ephemera and ledger paper. Right, just did a little layering effect, and there's a magnet, and did the same thing on the back side there. And then here is a tall pocket with an insert. So I think that's it on this one. Yeah, I didn't do anything to the back. So anyway, isn't that cute? It'd be a great little pen pal gift. It's mostly flat, and you can add all kinds of little goodies in there, or it could just be a fun little addition to any of your mini albums if you wanted to add it in. So super cute, right? All right, so let me show you what I printed off. Let me move those. All right, so I've got all my cutoffs here. And let's start with the first page. So here's the first page. Let me grab the cutoffs. Whoops. So I'm pretty sure, yeah. So this is how I trimmed it down. Well, something's getting caught there. I trimmed the top part off to 8.5, this part to 8.5, and then this part to 11. And so there's the cover sheet, right? You see I just printed it off. You could also print this off in grayscale if you wanted to. So there's the cover sheet and these cut-off pieces, because we can use those cut-off pieces. And then this one's going to be hard to see, but this is the long big pocket, the tall big pocket with the short pocket. And that one is, I don't know which way was up on this, be quite honest. I'm betting you it was this way. Right, so then I cut off this part and this part. Ran it through my printer. So there's another page with the cutoffs. And then last but not least, this one does have a direction. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna take me a minute to figure out which way this one went. Or did it go in here? Nope. There we go. So I just cut this to 8.5 and this to 11. So that's that. So I think what we'll do, I'm going to move these things out of the way. I'm going to add these pieces into my page, my sleeve, my Scrapper Keeper sleeve. I'm going to add them in here because these are the scraps left over from the mini album when I printed off onto the paper and had to cut it down. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in here because I want to be able to use all of them if need be. And you'll notice I didn't even cut that top part off. You never know, we can maybe use that top part for something. You never know. So I left it. So I've got these. And then I also have a bunch of leftovers from when we did the album. So I've got all of these pieces left, so we might use some of that. And then of course I have ephemera pieces, these leftover scraps, and if I'm not mistaken, somewhere, did I put my flower? I might have put my flowers up already, because I sure don't see them anywhere. We've got those left over. Here's my flowers. We didn't have very many flowers for this one, so I have a couple of these left over. So we may or may not use flowers. Let's see, what else? What else? So I'm just trying to use everything that I had used or not used. So like we have that left. I might not use that because some of you may not have that I haven't had the template. Okay. So anyways, so there's where we're at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start trimming these out. And we're going to start with the covers. Okay, so this is a Fiskars Precision paper trimmer. And I will have a link below. Hopefully I'll have like a specific Amazon list just for this project below for you guys. If not, then I will try to list things below for you to find things like this paper trimmer or this paper collection if it's still out. But I like to, on smaller pieces like this, I like to go ahead and trim them out when it's still attached to a larger piece. It just makes it easier, I think, to handle. So I'm going to trim this out all the way around. Right, so you leave it like that, and then here is the 2 tickets that were on that page. So I'm going to set that aside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut everything out so then we can just quickly go through. Now it's going to be hard to see this one, but here's the large tall pocket, here's the small pocket, here's the tag, and then there's the tab and label. So I think what I'll do first is I am going to separate the pockets from each other. So I think for now I'm going to go ahead and just trim everything out and leave all the tabs attached. So because of the way I have this laid out on here, I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors. I have been having, you guys, some serious allergy issues. It's been really rainy around here. And I'm not complaining at all. It's just, I think it's messing with my allergies. Okay, so there's a tab. There's a label. There's some tickets. I'm going to go ahead and separate the tickets. Whoops. I didn't do very good. That's alright, I'll do it when I trim them down. Alright, I'm going to move this because I'm going to go ahead and start. These are just large scraps. I'm going to grab my garbage bowl and I'm going to start trimming things up. So there's one tag. And I'm going to go through. Take all the corners off. So I'm going to do that to all the pockets. Oh, and then let me show you. Well, let me do the pockets really quick and then we'll come back to those. Okay, so these all 3 I'm going to, or these 4 I'm going to, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Alright, I'm going to put these scraps in my scrap drawer. You guys like my garbage bowl? Let me show you. You see it says garbage in there? So this is actually the garbage bowl that I used before while I was making this one. And it looked like this. It looked like that. But I've been experimenting with some things. I'm working on a piece of furniture for my granddaughter. And I've got a lot of cool things that I'm using. And I've been experimenting with it. Anyway, isn't that cute? So it's like, I don't know. If you want to know more about that, let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to get my scoreboard out. Alright, so this is a We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard. And I'm going to grab, this is a new Teflon, it's a bone folder situation, but it's like it's got like a pencil point. And it's from, I will link it in my Amazon, but it's, hang on, let me find the name of it. It's from Dress My Craft. So normally I would use this, a stylus, and a lot of times I rip through my paper, so I'm trying to see how this works. But the reason I've got this out is because I want to show you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and score. Right there, this is one of the tabs. I'm going to go ahead and score right? Can you see the tab? Score down the middle on that one. And then I'm going to score down the middle on this one. Yep. And then the tickets, I'm going to score in the middle of those. And in the middle of these. Okay. And then I'm going to put this up for now. Okay, let's start with the tickets. So I'm just going to fold those in half. And I'm going to chop that end off. So it should be, if it's not exact, that means I didn't score it exact. Or sometimes when you're cutting two sheets, the paper moves on you sometimes. So I'm going to do that for both of the tickets. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. Oh, here's the one where I didn't cut it straight down the edge there. Not too bad. But you really can't make a mistake, I promise. Those are some scraps. Okay, so then for these tabs, I'm going to fold them in half. Actually, I think I'm going to burnish this one. So this is a Teflon bone folder. It's a flat. I like it. It's my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and do both. Oops, I didn't cut that one very well. But that's okay. I can do it right now. So then I'm going to trim these out together so that they match. So when we add them to a tag, they match right up, no problem, right? I'm going to do the same to this one. Okay, so there's those two. So then, where's the other? There it is. Okay, so for the tickets and the two labels, I'm going to use a We Are Memory Keepers. This is a Crocodile Corner Chomper, and it's got a stub and a deco. We're going to use the stub side, and we are just going to chomp these corners. You don't have to. You can totally just trim that out yourself. Oh, got paper on my fingernail. With your scissors. But if you have one of these, it sure does make it a lot easier. Now this one here, the smaller one, come on, there we go. The smaller one here, it's not as big of a thingy, but I'm just going to use this anyway, so who cares, right? Nobody's going to know, and I didn't trim that out very well. I keep trying some different settings in my camera, you guys. So if it turns blurry for a minute, it's because I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make my life easier, and I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the tickets, right? So they both get cut out at the same time, and then again with these smaller ones, it's a smaller space, but I don't care. I'm just gonna use this anyway. Because again, it does not matter, right? So am I still in frame? Yes, I am. So I've lost the top to mine. It broke. I've had this for a very long time, so I've lost the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock those little pieces out. And I'm going to keep that over here to the side because I'll probably use it again. I'm going to put these pieces in my scrap drawer over here, my crafty tray. Okay, so those all pieces are ready. Alright, so I got my scoreboard back out. And I'm going to go ahead on the cover. I'm going to score. I'm going to check to see if I'm straight. So I'm going to match it up to this black line and this black line. And I'm going to score there and there. Looks like I cut this one pretty straight. And then I'm going to score here. And here. Okay, so I've been using this for a while and I'm kind of digging it. Okay, wonder what's the best way to show you. I'm kind of digging it. It feels good in my hand. It does bend, like it's the strangest thing. See how it bends? It does bend, but once I got used to that, I was okay. Okay, here's the long pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and score all the tabs on this one. All 3 tabs on this one, and all 3 tabs on these 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be back. Okay, so I've got all of the pockets, tabs scored, and I've already prepped those, but what you want to do then is you want to go ahead and fold those tabs and then give them a good burnish so that they have like a crisp fold. And then for this one here, for the covers, we're just going to go ahead and prep those. We're going to do each score. Okay, let's go and do another one. Okay, so really quick, before I forget, I wanted to point something out about these 2 pockets. There's this one, and then there's this one. They obviously can go right on top of each other if you wanted them to, right? So they're the exact same width, but, let me see, let me show you. They are smaller in width to the cover. Can you see there's a little space here, a little space here? Do you see that? Let me see if I can find another example. They are more narrow. That one you might be able to see a little bit better. And the reason I did that is I wanted you to be able to close it easily. I didn't want it to get like stopped because it was butted right up next to that score mark. So I made them skinnier on purpose, okay? So don't think you've done something wrong. That was done on purpose. Now the long pockets are the same as the cover. Those did not have to be adjusted because those aren't going to hinder any sort of closing. You just pull it away from that score mark ever so slightly and you'll be fine, right? Okay, so I just kind of wanted to point that out to you guys because I did that on purpose. I don't usually do that, but with something so small and something so quick, I didn't want there to have to be too much thought into the whole thing. Okay, so I got all this prepped and ready, and you know, I was just sitting here thinking, instead of having all this in one little mini album, little flip book, this reminds me of my little Freebie flip book that I have. It's different sizes, but it reminds me of that. It's also free in my Facebook group. Don't send me a friend request because I cannot accept any friends anymore because you can only have so many on Facebook. So that's why I created the Facebook group. But I can have unlimited. I can have as many as I want in my Facebook group. Is what I'm trying to say. So please join my Facebook. Please feel free to join my Facebook group. Just make sure that when you submit, you know, to join, you answer the question, and then one of my admins will check you out. Okay, so let's make another cover really quick. So this is one of the scraps from when I was making the album, the Glassine Bag Midnight Garden album. This is one of the scraps. So let's make another cover. So let me grab my little workbook that I made. And instead of having a flap, let's just do these. So I just need to decide what part I want, right? Let's do this side here. So all I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of tape on there because I have it attached to my page protector with it. So I'm just going to lay this on here and match it up best I can. Oh, looks like I might be a little crooked, so let's scoot it over. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to trace around. And then I'm going to fold back that flap part. Can you guys see? Like that. And then, which one's stuck down? Okay. I'm going to fold this back, and I'm going to go ahead and mark both of those. Whoop! See, that's what I meant by heavy-handed earlier. I don't know if I said heavy-handed, but that's why I like that pencil stylus bone folder thingy, Teflon, because I do get heavy-handed. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I do. Okay, so I'm going to stick this back in my workbook here. And then I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to score it and fold it, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and ink everything. This is the Archival Ink in Coffee Stain and a Ranger blending tool, but I've already inked this one inside and out. So now I'm going to go ahead and ink the one we just traced. I traced it and scored it and all of that. So I'm going to ink this inside and out with this, and then I will be back. Alright, so I've got both covers inked inside and out. Perfectly fine, right? So I was just looking, I was contemplating, and I think I'm going to use I think I'm going to at least use the darker, one of the darker pockets over here, or maybe both. Or I might flip that one over. This, I didn't even realize this could be a cute little a folder too, where you just have those two pockets. Maybe we'll do that. Or, maybe not. It'd be cute either way. But I was thinking about this. Now, considering what I've already printed off on here, the ferns and the plants are kind of distracting me a little, so I think I'm going to cover this whole inside with some vintage ledger paper. And I have I have my little concoction here. These are just binder pockets, clear binder pockets. I've got one that's got Ode Vintage Ephemera, Coffee Stained, Book Page, some acetate and vellum and whatnots and transparencies and stuff like that, and then my Floral Whimsy I've got in there. Anyway, so I've got somebody, I'm trying to think of, these were sent to me by Ruby, this vintage ledger, and it's so stinking pretty. The tone of it is just gorgeous. So I was thinking about, ooh, it's almost big enough. It's not quite big enough. Well, we won't go to, oh, and look, there's holes on it. Maybe we'll just go to a certain point. Maybe we'll just cover it. No, I'm just going to go ahead, I think I'm going to go ahead and cover it, the whole thing. Maybe. And that's got a little bit, maybe we'll tear that edge or something. Or maybe not, maybe we'll just leave it. We'll see. Maybe we'll add something else here. Decisions. Because I think this would look really pretty with this. Or this. Either pocket. I think it would look really good. Right? Maybe not so much with this side, with these, but I think it would look good on this side. So, well, I guess I could at least maybe just, I'm not sure what I want to do, you guys. I'm also going to leave this open and this open, depending on what we end up doing, because I might put a magnet. So I think what I'm going to end up doing here is covering this flap with something different. So I'm going to mark it. I think, right there. And that's where we'll cut that piece off. But again, you guys, you do whatever you want to do. You do not have to use vintage ephemera. You can leave it just as it is. You can take another piece of the scrapbook paper. Whatever you want to do. So, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to use some wet glue. And I'm going to glue it along the top and the bottom. So I'm going to add glue to this, and I'm going to leave a spot to add a magnet if I want, here and here. So, well, not there, because we're not going to be putting anything there right this second. So I'm just going to use some art glitter glue, and I'm just going to go along the top here. I'm going to go all the way down the sides. Did I go all the way to the second score? Oh, I did. Let me go down to the second score. And go down this side. And then make sure I get this little area right here. I'm not going to go too much here because I want to be able to put my magnet wherever I need it. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay this on here. So if you're like me, you like to collect this kind of thing, this kind of vintage ephemera, and then you don't ever use it. So I'm trying to make myself use it. Right, so then I'm going to cut this piece off. Like that. And then, let's see, what can I do over here? I've got scraps as well. I can maybe cover it with this. That'll have a pretty floral. Again, these are all scraps from the album. Let me go ahead and do that. Oh, except I'm going to leave a space for a magnet. Keep forgetting that I'm going to do that. At least I think that's what I want to do. If not, I just glue it. Right? Oh, hang on. Let me go ahead and ink this edge real quick. I should have probably inked that other edge of this, but that's okay. Alright. And if you like this pattern, that fern greenery pattern, then don't cover it up. I like it too. It just throws me a little bit for whatever reason with this paper collection. I don't know what it is exactly. It's just something about it that just throws me. So now I'm going to go through, I think, and ink these edges. And I like that one just the way it is, so I'm not going to cover those up. Oh, before I do that, I need to go ahead and fold this. So that it folds properly. Okay. I must have gotten a bad batch of those foamy thingies because they are driving me bonkers. They do not last, not even one project, or not even one day when I'm working on a project. It drives me bonkers. Now I just need to decide. I think, what's on the back side of these? The feathers. Let's see, that would look cool over here, the back side. I don't know how to make sure you guys can see. And then we could do, this one doesn't have a direction. Maybe we could do this pocket over here, or vice versa. Or I like that color against there. Maybe we'll do that. And then have that there and this here. Okay, so for all of the pockets, like some of the prototypes, like these, let's see, there's the two stacked pockets there, and then I put another pocket on the back, which is super cute. But I'm just going to show you the basics. And so where's the one that I have the flip pocket? So here I made this little flip pocket. So I just made two of these large pockets. I just attached one to the other and then attached it down to the cover and then covered that up with the smaller pocket. So that's easy to do too. That's fun. So that's just a different variation. But I'm just going to show you the simple basics with this right now. So for all four pockets, I'm going to open them up. I'm going to take some, let's see, where is it? Some 1/4 of an inch, I think. This is scrapbook.com 1/4 of an inch tape. I will have that link down below. They usually have a pretty good sale, if I can find the end. They have pretty good sales on their tape. So for something like this, it's a good value, and it's good tape. You could also use a sequin. People tell me I say that wrong, but oh well, that's just the way I say it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep all the pockets like this. These are Tim Holtz tonic scissors. I'm going to prep all the pockets, and then I'm going to go through and ink their edges. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got all my pockets prepared. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start adding them. And by the way, this, my tray that my ink is in and my garbage bowl, those are all part of my newest, it's getting ready to come out, Crafty Companion workstation template. So I'm going to go ahead and scooch away a little bit from that score. Going to add that there. Burnish that down. So yeah, there's a whole lot of different little elements that are involved, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. The only thing I've recorded so far, today is actually July 4th when I'm recording this, but the only thing I've recorded so far is the workbook. I've had so much going on that I have not been able to do as much as I've been wanting to do. Okay, so remember, this one does not fit this page exactly. It's slightly smaller, so I'm just going to like frame it out just a little bit. So on all three sides there, just kind of framed it. Easy, just like that. So there's two pockets. Pocket here for this one. And then for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this pocket here all the way, and then I think on that one I might add a magnet. Let's see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and add it. Oops, does this have an up and down? Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add it here. Uh-oh. Whoops. Shoot, you guys. Got off a little bit. It's hard when you can't get up over top of something. It's not too bad. We'll just ink that edge. But I was thinking about adding a magnet back here in order to maybe have like a floating tag. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to attach the bottom piece. That's also an idea too. You can make this into a flip down pocket if you wanted to. So remember, this one does not fit this page. It's smaller, so I'm just going to guesstimate. Center that. Remember, we just attached the bottom because I'm thinking about putting a magnet here so that we can have a removable tag. Maybe not this tag, but I've got my got my storage book here. Let me set this aside for a second. The other book. I've got my storage book. I have a video on how I made these. This is the storage book full of the already embossed papers, but then on camera I made the storage book for the embossing folders, right? So if you want to see how I made this, I will put a link up here in the corner and down in the description box below. Super simple. But all of these pieces in here are leftover pieces from when I made my workbook for my new template that hasn't come out yet as of this recording date. And here's a little sneak peek. My crafty companion. So when I made my workbook, I had a bunch of pieces left. So I just went ahead and cut them down, ran them through embossing folders, and now I have all these pretty prepared pieces that I can use for little projects like this. So I'm thinking about using some of these already embossed papers. So I've got some flowery ones that I've got that might go well with this collection. And that one's really cool too. I think this is the newest one I've gotten, but I like this one. And I think this one is a Tim Holtz die. Or not die, I'm sorry, a Tim Holtz embossing folder. I will link it down below in my Amazon list that I'll make. It's like a 3D one. I'm almost 100% positive. Yeah. So when I cut these pieces down to go through my embossing folder, I kind of tried to cut them thinking in mind of tags and things. So this will be a perfect fit for here. So I was thinking about using one of these pieces and one of my scraps. So 2 pieces. I've got, this is from my Shades of Color. I'll link that down below too, that I used in the Glassine Bag Midnight Garden album. I could, let's see, what else do I have? So we've got so many leftover pieces that it would be a shame for things to go to waste, right? It's also leftover. Oh, there's a white piece. This is also my Shades of Color, left over from the album. And then, of course, I've got all my cut-off pieces. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to trace. I'm just going to use this because I've already got it sitting here, but I could use the template that I cut out and put in my little workbook. I'm just going to lay this on here. Ooh, it's getting warm, you guys. I have my studios up in a loft. Isn't that pretty? And it gets pretty hot up here. So I'm going to back it, although that might be pretty on that side too, but I think I'll have that side out. And I'm going to back it. See, you can see that this was from my workbook that I printed off. I'm going to back it with this, like that. And maybe I'll have that side out. That might be kind of pretty. And I need to add a magnet. So before I back it, let me add a magnet to this. I have a crafty tray full of magnets, and I'm going to use the ones that I get from the Magnet Baron. These are 5/16 of an inch. I will have him linked below. He's really good, he's really fast, and he's really reasonable. Okay, so I'm going to grab, I think I'm just going to use, no, you know what? I'm going to use some double-sided tape. I'm just going to stick a piece in the middle. Because it doesn't really matter. It's going to be covered up. Remove that backing. And stick that on there like that. Okay. Now I'm going to attach it down. And I'm going to use liquid glue because it is, I should use Fabri-Tac, because it is a very dimensional embossed paper, cardstock, white cardstock. I'm going to go up here on top, cover up that printing. All right. So I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want to flatten the embossing out. Trim this away. So this is a stopper topper that was sent to me by Michelle. I will link her below. She makes them and sells them in her Etsy shop. I need to decide if I want this facing this away or this away. I think I'm going to do it this away. So the magnet needs to be attached to the back side of this. So if I pull that up, I need to add glue to that side. Grab my double-sided adhesive. So you can treat this just like any other mini album. You go through and you add things. I'm just going to lay that in here. Just like any mini album. It's got just a very few amount of pages, but you can make it as elaborate or as simple as you wish. Right now that's down, I'm going to grab, I'm going to try to anyway, a piece of just a regular old Scotch tape. Cover that up. I don't want things getting stuck. And then I'm going to shut this folder. I'm going to attach the rest of this pocket down. Right, go ahead. So that's a fun little interactive element. I'm going to go ahead and ink it just slightly. Okay, so I've got that tag, and then I've got this large tall tag. I think I'm going to, it's got that on one side and this on the other, and I think I'm going to have it as a tag here, right? It'd be cute to put your picture here, but then to journal on this side would be tough. So I need to cover that with something. This is not big enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this to here. This is just a piece of coffee stain paper. I will have a link for Etsy if you don't want to bother coffee staining your own paper. It's not hard, it's just time consuming, but I'll put a link down below if you would like to purchase some. It's just a link to Etsy to whoever. It's no specific seller, it's just coffee stained paper. There's a lot of fabulous, it takes a lot of time, so it's definitely worth it if you don't want to put in the time. But I'm just going to go ahead and attach this down. Just going to go around the edges. And this is just to give you a place to journal or add more pictures if you want. Whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I'm just going to go around the edges. I think I'm going to come down from the top just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to cut this out. Whoop. Probably should use my paper trimmer. I just got off a little bit. Right, so this will be facing up this way, like that. So then I thought we would add this little tab, the small tab, up top like this. Right? So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to ink this up, and we'll add it. And again, I'm just going to use glue, just wet glue. I'm just going to lay one side on here. Try to center it as best I can. Tell you what, right? So that's cute. Did I get it on there crooked? I might have, or maybe it's just not folded correctly. That's always possible, or trimmed correctly. All right, so I'll ink that tag in a minute. Okay, so I think I haven't inked that up yet, but I will. But I'll ink it up when I ink up everything else. But I think I want to do some of the tags over here on this one, so I'm going to move that out of the way just for a minute. Oops. Don't go anywhere. So I think I'm going to use this little short tag, and I think I'm going to leave it as is for now, right? And then I've got some of the scraps, and I pulled out another piece of that same embossed. Isn't that pretty? Right? Can you see the, it's just, it looks like a piece of metal tile that you would have on your ceiling or something. I might use that again. But I wanted to get the tags out. I wanted to use, not the small one, I don't think. I'm just going to use the large tag template, my traceable template that I have. This one I think I'm just going to use as a tag, and I'm going to back it with that coffee stained paper, and I'm just going to have it in here, right? So I'm just going to have that in there, and then I'm going to have a taller tag. So that'd be 3 tags, because this isn't quite big enough for, I don't know, I guess I could. It's a little bit shorter. I guess I could. Let's go ahead and do that. Why not? So I'm just going to flip this over with my large tag template here. I'm just going to lay it on here. Just trace the top and the top 2 corners there. Make it a tag. And that'll be one of the tags for back here. Right? I'm going to go ahead. So that'll be a tag for there, and I'm gonna back it with that. And then this one, I wanted to use this piece. So this is left over from when we made the mini album. But I'm just gonna lay it on here and trace it out. Right, so then this tag can go right here, like that. That's just so pretty. All right, let me go ahead and back this tag here with this. I'm not sure what the best way to do this is. I'm gonna actually, except this time I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac. There we go. So, and again, I'll ink all these things up off camera, but you'll know that I'll be using the archival ink and coffee. So there's those 3 tags. I still need to decide about, I haven't decided yet, so I'm not gonna do anything with that yet. But then this one still needs a tag or 2. So since I've got this out, let me look at my scraps. What about my shades of color would work. That would stand out, wouldn't it? And then we could back it with the coffee stained paper maybe. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, this is the shades of color, this pink background, and I forget which number it is. Offhand at this exact moment, but if you watch the other video series, the Midnight Garden Glassine bag one, it'll tell you in there 100 times which background this is, which shade this is. I'll show you the listing. Maybe I can pick it when I show you the listing. Right, so that could go in there like that. Okay, this is what my shades of color listing looks like on Etsy, and this color is either 14 or 15. I don't remember which one though, you guys. Seriously, I'd have to go look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and then back that with this coffee stain, or should I use the ledger that I used over here? No, I'm just going to use the coffee stain. No. What do you think? No, I'm going to use the coffee stained. I don't want to get another piece of ledger out, so I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac again. And that could go either way. It could go this way, which might be kind of cool. Maybe we can even add another tag there. Or it could go the other way. Let's see, what do we want to do with this one? Should we stick this on there like that? What's on the back side? Oh, it's awful dark on the back side. We could, if we wanted to, we could add this here, or we could add it here. Ooh, let's do that. Let's add it to this green tag. So let's ink this up. I didn't even cut these little tabs out very well. I'm over my garbage bowl so I don't get too many pieces all over the place. It's so annoying. Okay. And I'm gonna grab my Fabri-Tac again. Just use whatever glue you want. You don't have to use whichever glue I'm using. And people ask me all the time, why do you use this? Why do you use that? Why do you switch colors? Why do you switch this? Why? It's just whatever your personal preference is. This color works good with this paper, or I'm not even sure if that's what I used with the Midnight Garden. I cannot remember. It's actually been a while since I finished that album, believe it or not. I'd have to go back and look, but I switch back and forth, the brown, the tones, it just really depends. Okay, so there is that. Okay. I think I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go ahead and ink all of these things up, and then I'll be back. Okay, I have everything inked up that we've already done so far, but I was thinking about my cover here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add the magnet in here, because remember I left it open. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and add this magnet in. I'm going to put a bit of glue. I'm not even concerned of which side it's on at the moment. I didn't mean for that to happen. I'm going to try to go in the middle here. That might have been a little too far. Come back just a little. There we go. And then I'm going to add some more glue inside here, and we're going to close this up. Can you even see? Yeah, you can. I'm sorry this video has been so long, you guys. I hadn't actually planned this whole thing out. And so I'm kind of, you know, flying by the seat of my pants. Is that what they say? Okay, so then I'm going to flip that over that way. Add some glue. I need to be careful this time. I probably should have done the other one first. I mean this one first. Come on, let go. Let go. Alright, I'm trying to get it in there to where when I close it, it'll grab onto it. Come on. Must not be close enough. Oh, it's not moving because it's already stuck down. Perfect. Oh, there it goes. Did it grab? Did it grab correctly? Okay. Now I'm going to close this up. Whoops. Did y'all see that? And anyway, so I wasn't even planning on recording today, but I got some time, quiet time, so I thought I would take advantage. But anyway, so now it ends up being a longer video than I had initially intended. So there's that. So I do apologize. Okay, I'm gonna put, I don't think I need more magnets. I'm gonna put them up in my magnet crafty tray over here. But I did get my embellishments out while I was thinking. Got my flowers out, and I'm thinking about adding some flowers to this one. And I also found in my mom's stuff, I found a rusted like bee charm, right? So I thought, since there's bees in this collection, I thought I might add this in. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it just yet, but I was thinking about doing something like that. Boy, I hope this whole video has not been out of focus. Again, I've changed my settings on some things and I haven't been paying attention. I probably should have been paying attention. Okay, so I'm thinking about adding that there, but I don't know. What do you guys think? The only thing is I need to be sure that I stay on this flap over here. Let's just go ahead and do it. What the heck? So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna add this one. Just glue it on the one side. Like that. I'm gonna add, oh, I guess I could. I hadn't even thought about it. I could add some under. Like on the underside of the flap, like that. That might work. Well, that would just be one on the underside. No, we won't do that. Did I already put glue on that? I don't remember. I can't hardly see. I can't get over top of it enough to see what I'm doing. This flower right here is bugging me. It's the only one I got, so we're gonna make it work. Yeah, let's just go ahead and glue these down. I think that one's already got some glue on it because I jammed it in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to put some glue on the back sides of where I think it's going to be touching the flowers. Just like that. I might have to add some little flowers. What do you guys think? Let me bring it up to you. Let me hit the focus button. Sheesh. Right? I think it needs more flowers. Of course it does. We need to balance it out. So maybe it's the green that's throwing me. I need to add some green and red. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6. Hang on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that looks better. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, that looks cute. All right, let's let that dry. Let's think about this one. Okay, I was thinking, this is the vellum from the flower sheet, and I found a rusted butterfly. I have a video on that too, by the way, how to rust some stuff. I'll link it up here and down below if you want to check it out. But I was thinking, and here's the small tag template. So I was thinking about maybe either using this or this card, this journaling card from the 4x6 pad. On the front cover. So I'm going to go ahead and trace them both out and cut them both out, and we'll experiment to see. Oops. Okay, I've been playing around. I traced the smaller label onto some coffee stained paper. I have the larger label here, and I have both of the tags that we did, and I think I'm going to use both of them. But first, I'm going to ink this up really quick. I think I'm just going to layer the vellum on top of this and then kind of mess the vellum up a little bit. So I'm going to attach it down, but then, right, I'm just going to, okay, so I'm going to attach it down first, I think. No, go ahead. I'm going to try to anyway. It's easy to mess up as you would think. I'm trying to just like roll it a little. And then maybe have it just messed up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to attach it down in the middle so that'll be covered up. To get some hole reinforcements out, I put them up because since I finished making the actual album, I have made several other things. I've been doing several other things, so I put them up and forgot to grab them back out. I don't even remember which ones we used. So, right, so then we can have this layered onto here, kind of like this. Let me grab my hole reinforcements. Put them, or is that embellishments? Alright, I have a book of hole reinforcements, but I think I want maybe a colorful one. So, maybe that burgundy would be good. Is this that burgundy? Let's use the one that's, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this on here. Close enough. Get a regular old hole punch. This is going to be attached down, so I'm not going to worry about putting one on the back. But then I feel like I need something now, some twine or string or something. I'll leave those out for the moment. I have both twine and string. I'll just use the string. This is natural baker's twine, not string. I guess it's string, cotton string. You could cook with it, I think. I'm not really sure. Just cutting the ends off there. So then that can go there. And then let me give this just a wee bit of an ink. A wee bit. Who talks like that? Okay, I just want to have a place to be able to write a title or even put a title. I think there's some bits that are in the ephemera that are words. I hadn't even thought to look at that. So we got these two. And that dude. Alright, I'm just gonna glue stuff down. What do you think of that? Right, something like that. And then I'm going to attach this down. How did I just have this? See, I do this all the time. I'm like, I don't remember. It wants to go right there because of the magnet. I'm wondering if I should add any flowers in here. Yeah, and so we don't even have a closure, not really. We just have a decorated cover. Okay, you guys. I'm sorry about that. I got distracted, or not distracted, I got interrupted, and then I'm running out of time, so I kept fiddling and fiddling and fiddling, and then I've run out of time. So now I just need to call it quits. So I will show you what I did. I don't even remember when I turned the camera off, but I will show you all the little ins and outs. I'm pretty sure we finished this little cover. You could put a pocket on the back or a big tag on the back or an embellishment on the back, or, you know, you could do anything you want on the back. Like on these, I got a pocket on the back of this one, right? So that's even more space. And then I created another little pocket just with some of the scraps right there. So you can do that as well on the back. I didn't do anything to the back of either one of these. I just ran out of time. So, but let me show you what I did on the inside. So let's start over here. So I made this little embellishment cluster right there. This is pieces from the ephemera from the collection and a flower from the collection. And then I just made this cute little little tag, just so you know that that can be that it's like a tuck. And then on the tag here, I just added both of the large tickets via a paper clip and added a little flower just for a little bit of interest. And also I poked holes and put hole reinforcements on all the tags and used the same color hole reinforcement on both while we were away. And then I made this cute little embellishment cluster here. It's being held on by a paper clip as well, and it is removable. So I just took some of that vellum from the flowers, and the bloom is from the ephemera pack, and then there's one of the little tickets. So this can be removed off of there. And I just used a rusted paper clip, right? Isn't that cute? Simple, easy, quick. And then underneath there, I made this little tuck right here so you could have more space for tuck. So it's the large label, and then I made a little small out of some of the leftover ledger, and then a little small like ticket, and then I added that little saying that says sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. That was part of the ephemera pack, and that's tucked in right behind there, because remember this has got a magnet in it. And then, oh, and this tag on the back side, I just added, I fussy cut some more of the border off of some of the ephemera pieces, the little flower pieces, and then I made it like a little side tuck. So I just left that in there to show you that it was like a little side tuck just for more space. So you could keep on going and going and going. This one doesn't have a closure. You could add one if you wanted to, but you could just keep adding, adding, adding. We used a lot of leftover pieces for this. You guys saw me do this cover on the other one. Again, you could put a pocket on the back, and then right on the inside cover, this is something my mom would totally do. She would collect feathers while she was out, you know, out in the yard and stuff. I don't know why you shouldn't do that. It's gross. They probably have diseases and stuff. And then I made like a little faux piece of masking tape just out of a piece of the coffee stained paper. So I fussy cut more of the border again off of these little feathers, and then just kind of tacked them there, but they're a little tuck as well, so you could stick something underneath there. And then I made this cute little this is glued down, this little paper clip, and there's some vellum. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that. There's a piece of vellum right there. I just wanted some interest there, and then I made a cute little tag that slips in there from the leftover piece from when we did the cover over here, right? And then this tag here did a hole reinforcement and a little fussy cut more of this little flower ephemera, and then this, oops, just to show you that it's like a little tuck. So it's just a leftover piece of the ledger. Doesn't even have to stay there. And then over here, oh, and then I made this little cluster down here. It's not removable, but it's one of the flowers from the collection, a piece of that old ledger, and one of the smaller tickets. So you could write on there or add a little bit of ephemera. And then, I don't know if I showed this on camera or not, one of the words, magic, I just fussy cut around it just a little bit more and just stuck it down there. It's not a tuck, so it's stuck all the way down. Didn't do anything to the back. And then this tag here, I did another little tuck on the side there just to add a little bit of interest to this plano, right? I think it's cute. I think it turned out super cute. And so that's all I did, you guys. I mean, again, you could keep on going and going and going, but I've just ran out of time. I could probably, with all the leftover stuff that I still have, I could probably trace another cover out and print off more of the pockets, or even trace the pockets out and just keep going and going and going. There's the flowers. Here's the ephemera pieces that are left over still. Do you remember how many there were? Well, you may not if you didn't follow the Midnight Garden Glassine Bag album. But Anyway, so there's just a lot of bits left over, and you could keep making these over and over and over again. So I'm super excited about it. So these are called Use Your Stash. And let me get that back out. And it looks like this. Well, let me get the one that's not reflective. And it looks like this. So I hope you guys like this little freebie, this little Use Your Stash, little mini album, this little mini album, little flip book, little pen pal booklet. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So let me know what you think, you guys. Let me know. Tag me if you make any projects, or if you want to put some pictures of your little projects in my Facebook group. That would be awesome. I would love to see what you guys use. What you guys come up with this Use Your Stash, a little quick free mini album. Anyway, I'd love to see what you guys make with your Use Your Stash, a little quick little mini album template. And I'm sorry about the length of this video. There's a lot to show you, so give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to ring the bell. Don't forget to share my video. And there might be other videos here on the screen that you might enjoy watching. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.